We've come down to the Network Hub today to find the results for the Vancouver section of the NASA International Space Apps Challenge. So let's go and see what the nerds have to offer. So the NASA International Space Apps Challenge, what is it?
The NASA International Space Apps Challenge is an opportunity for developers and scientists, whether they be amateur scientists or professional scientists, to work together and answer a public interest problem as posed by NASA on the Space Apps Challenge website. So there are a number of repositories of data available for people to work with. This is open information from the Kepler project, from the planetary data system. There's information about water temperatures and currents and ocean patterns, and there's a lot of opportunities that they've put forward with interesting problems to solve using these data sets. And so that's what we're about to see with the judging, is the results of 2 days of hacking and coding using these data sets to make interesting things to present to the public.
Okay, so obviously we're in Gastown, Vancouver, but this is a lot bigger than this, right? How big is this project?
I'm not sure how many cities we have. Last I checked, we were at over 20 cities. I mean, we've got Exeter, I think we've got Oxford in the UK, the International Space Station and the McMurdo base in Antarctica are also participating. So we actually have real astronauts participating live with us as well. So yeah, I think over 20 cities.
Awesome. So it's a completely international event, and I imagine that there's a lot of good coming from this. Do you foresee anything that's going to happen from this project?
I think so. A lot of the challenges were about redesigning really awkward, ugly interfaces for this information. So I'm hoping that by having some better designed interfaces that the public will be able to engage with this information more readily, and science won't seem like such a far removed sort of topic. That's really what the goal was here, is that we were encouraging people that make these apps to make them interesting to the average layperson or to a non-expert that might want to engage with a scientific topic.
So Jay, why did the Network Hub sponsor this event?
Well, the Network Hub is a co-working space, and the thing that we value the most is connecting people to each other. So when these guys approached us about possibly sponsoring the space, it was a very cool event, and it brings a lot of people that are similar to our members, developers, designers. So we thought it'd be super cool to be involved, so we donated the space to them.
With me here, I have Adam, third place, and I actually thought your app was quite interesting and quite practical. Can you tell me about what gained you third place?
What gained us third place was probably the technical complexity of drawing the height map data from images of the moon provided by NASA, storing that large amount of data on a server and then pulling it into the app so we can use it to calculate the slope of the terrain on the surface of the moon. From that point, we can figure out whether a lunar landing was successful or not. So the app works like this. It's actually in the form of a game. The user can scroll around the moon, the surface of the moon, and he can touch a location, and it'll zoom into a subsection of the moon, and then he touches another point, and then he specifies the exact location that you want to land on the moon. And then the slope calculations are done, and we figure out whether the landing was successful and play a little animation.
So Jackie, you guys came second. Congratulations. Can you tell us what your app was to get this prize?
The app is a space quiz that is targeted towards kids, and it's basically just like an app that you can access through your desktop or your mobile phone that teaches kids basic facts about space that you'd be surprised that they didn't know. Yeah.
Awesome. So what are some of the kind of questions that you put in the app?
Like a very basic, does the Earth revolve around the sun or not? So stuff like that, really simple, that you'd be surprised that people weren't aware of.
Funnily enough, people like Jason, our cameraman, he wouldn't actually know the answers to questions.
Yeah, and you would learn along the way. There's also interactive elements that give you hints to help people think about it more instead of just breezing through a quiz.
Awesome. So I hear you're going off to the next event, the International at NASA. That's kind of scary, right?
Apparently, yeah, that is pretty daunting. I didn't realize that was the conclusion to that. So
congratulations and good luck. Can you tell me what you had to do to win?
So we took yesterday and today, and we looked at a bunch of challenges, and we find one that's very interesting to us, which is the Aurora live challenge. So we mapped Aurora data into a interactive globe, so people can play around with it, can visualize it, and understand some of the aspects of Aurora that they don't see in static maps.
So it's NASA, okay? If one of you has to go to space between the three of you, who's going to do it? Who's going to space?
Well, I'll nominate him. There you go, two against
I've
one.
been wanting to go for ages.
Just so you guys know, ladies love astronauts. They love the astronauts. So.
Well, it's a childhood dream. Yeah.
So it was really interesting to see what came out of the Vancouver section of this challenge. To see what happened across the globe, go to the website, spaceappschallenge.org. I'm Chris Cook, signing out for City Lights on Novustv.